Good morning, my beautiful people. Today we have a nice light mobility flow. So, mobility differs to flexibility. We want to be able to move freely and easily, and we can do this by building strength in different ranges of motion. We started off with a forward fold, getting a nice stretch in those hamstrings, then opening up our body position, feeling a stretch in those pecs and back muscles. You now want to sink down into a deep squat, just opening up those hips. You're going to rotate up to the ceiling, get a really nice stretch in your upper back and that thoracic spine. Just going to repeat that twice over on both sides. Some of these positions may be a bit challenging for you, but just do your best over time. I promise you will get better. Bring your left foot forwards now into a lunge position. You're going to place your right hand on the floor and turn up to the ceiling with your left hand. Just going to repeat that on the opposite side. So right leg forwards, left hand's planted, and then turn up to the ceiling with that right hand. Just going to repeat that twice over. You should feel a deep stretch in those hip flexors and also again in that T-spine, in that thoracic spine as you rotate up to the sky. Even though you're still kind of technically stretching, you're still also working your muscles at the same time. This is what mobility is about. We want to build strength in all kinds of ranges of motion. Still staying in that lunge position. This time we're just going to drop the knee to the floor and want to bring our elbow as low to the ground as possible and then again rotate up to the sky. We can then progress that by keeping the back leg straight and perform the exact same thing, just rotating up towards the sky. Our hips tend to get really tight, especially when we've been sleeping all day. So this is the first thing you want to do, really open up our hips, because obviously in our day ahead, we may be sitting down a lot. If you work at a desk all day, we're in that flexed position. We don't want that. We want to open up those hips, really loosen them so we can move pain-free. That is the goal, guys. I'm trying to do all my calisthenic movements when I'm 70, 80 years old. I want to be an old beast. Call me Grandpa the Beast. Once you perform that final lunge with a rotation, you're then going to get into a downward dog position. You're going to try and plant your heel into the floor. This is going to give you a deep stretch in those calves, and you're just going to alternate side to side. Again, feeling a stretch in those calves and hamstrings. Proceed to bring your knee forwards, then into a scorpion kick. So you're going to feel this deep in your transverse abdominal muscles, a stretch also in the hip flexors and quads. Then bring the knee once again forwards and sink down into a pigeon stretch. Once again, work within your range of motion. So this position can be quite uncomfortable on your knees, so adjust it accordingly so it's not as painful. It shouldn't be a shooting sharp pain, it should be a slight bearable pain. And again, take deep breaths in and out. As you relax into that stretch, you want to sink a little deeper. You're now going to go back into that downward dog position. And again, do the exact same thing on the other side. So bring that knee forwards into that scorpion kick. Really feel a stretch in those abdominal muscles, the quads, the hip flexors. Drive the knee once again forwards and sink down deep into that pigeon stretch. As you can see, I'm a little tired on my right hand side. That's all good. Imbalances are normal, guys. Over time, as you practice this, you will get a lot more looser, a lot more mobile, and these positions will feel more comfortable. Make sure you're breathing throughout this routine, guys. The key to remember is as you breathe out, just try and sink a little deeper into that stretch. Back into that downward dog position, we are then going to go into a cobra. Look up to the ceiling. You're going to push through the ground, really depress those shoulders and feel a stretch in that lower back. And again, I'm going to sink down into that child's pose. Hold for a few seconds. Deep breaths in and out. We are going to repeat that process. So really roll the shoulders back, look to the sky. You can also add a little bit of rotation. It's going to feel nice on that lower back. And then once more, you're going to sink down into that child's pose. Next, we're going to get into a prone position. You're just going to bring one leg across your body. Make sure you keep both shoulders touching the floor. I can't stress that enough. We want to solely try and open up that lower back, getting a little bit of hip extension as well, feeling it a little bit in our quads and hip flexors too. We're now going to stretch out the quads. So you're going to bring one leg behind you. If you can, grab with both hands. Keep your feet together. Just take deep breaths in and out. And again, just try and relax into this stretch. You're going to hold this for around 10 to 20 seconds. Then we're going to swap sides. So same thing again, just reach for that other leg. If you can, grab it with both hands. Deep breaths in and out. Just relax in this position. Last but not least, this is a bit more advanced. We're going to try and grab both legs. You're going to raise the chest, feel a stretch in that posterior chain, also mainly in those quads, and then lower down nice and slow. I can't hold this for very long, it's very intense, but yeah, give it a go, guys. We are then going to get into a deep squat position, place the hands behind us, and we're going to be in this reverse plank almost. It's like a reverse bridge. You're going to raise the hips to the sky, squeeze those glutes. You're going to feel a deep stretch and those pecs, putting the shoulders into a real deep extension. And it's going to feel quite nice actually, painfully nice in a weird way. We're just going to rep this up again, squeezing those glutes, trying to thrust as high up into the sky as possible. We are now going to cross our legs. We're going to rotate to one side, again stretching that T-spine, that thoracic spine, our upper back. Hold for a few seconds and switch over onto the opposite side. You want to look over your shoulder to again keep that deep stretch in that upper back. We're just going to swap over and repeat that. By having a mobile upper back, it's just going to help us relieve some stress off our lumbar spine, and will also help with any rotating or bending movements which we perform naturally in our day-to-day lives. We are now going to transfer back into that squat position, drop the knees to the floor so we're in a 4-point plank. We're just going to protract to really stick the upper back to the ceiling, keep our hands straight, then sink down, bring the shoulder blades together and just repeat. So we're going to round the upper back, squeeze the glutes as well, then relax, depress, let the shoulders sink and touch together, and repeat that process. This is again just working on our protraction, retraction, really important when it comes to certain calisthenic skills, especially our levers, so our planches, front and back levers. Being able to have good control of your scapula is just going to assist you with performing those tough calisthenic skills and performing them with the correct form. We're then going to go back into our seated position. We're going to be working on our cervical spine now, so our neck region. You're going to go side to side, rotate as far as you can, feeling a stretch in your neck and traps. Work within your range. You should come to a point where you can't go any further. Just hold that position for a few seconds and then once more rotate to the other side. We then are going to grab our neck, gently push down, and once more we're going to rotate side to side. You're going to feel a deeper stretch running down your neck into your upper back with this one. If there's any shooting sharp pains, then just ease off the pressure with your hand. It should be a slight tension and tight feeling, but it should be bearable, guys. You're then going to swap over, repeat that same process on your other side. So again, gently applying some pressure and just rotating side to side. Almost there, guys. We're now moving on to our hamstrings. So I'm going to keep one leg forwards, bring the other leg out into a bent 90-degree angled position. It's going to feel a little awkward. Again, it may feel a bit too much pressure on your hip or knees, so adjust accordingly to a comfortable position. You want to play around with different positions. As you can see, I'm rotating up, looking to the sky. Then I come plant my hands more forwards. And again, just take deep breaths in and out. And as you breathe out, just try and deepen that stretch. I'm now going to sink back onto my elbow. This is going to make me feel a bit more of a stretch on my quads. So again, it's just a nice little flow, guys. We're gonna repeat that on the other leg. So getting into that bent 90-degree angled position, reaching as far forward as you can, feeling a stretch in your hamstrings and lower back. And rotate up to the sky, really lean over. So again, you get that nice stretch, as you can see, across my lats, running deeper down my abdominal muscles, that QL region. And again, I bring my body forwards into this pancake position. And then after sinking back down onto my elbow, feeling a greater stretch in my quads. Today was such a nice day, guys, in the sun, chilling, stretching. This is what we want, guys. This is the simple things. We love the simple things, especially with this lockdown as well. It makes you kind of appreciate the simple things more, because to have all your rights taken away like that is crazy. It hits you. So it was nice to be outside in the sun and just doing this nice morning mobility flow. Last final position, guys, we're just gonna fold. I am not too sure the yoga term of this position, but it is a bit weird and uncomfortable, but you do get a stretch somehow. And then I just rolled forward and ended off the morning mobility flow. Guys, have a beautiful, productive day. Stay positive, stay happy, keep smiling, and I'll catch you guys next week with another video. That was the 10-minute morning mobility routine. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been your boy Tayo, and I'm out. Peace.